CANTO control has been nerfed officially. Now, this is a really interesting unit, and she has a lot of interesting use cases. We're going to talk about where you want to use her and where she will just be okay, because there are some ups and downs. Let's talk about this, though. I am really happy for Sakura fans. All right, so here we go. She's coming in, and she looks amazing. The art in this game lately has been really, really good, so this is not a surprise. We're already seeing Ice Lock. Ice Lock is an incredibly powerful skill, and we've got Salvage. Okay, we're going to try to break all this down. We've got Slaying, and we've got Dazzling Staff. That's good. This is a fantastic start. At start of turn, if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack speed +6, Salvage, and the following status to unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit for 1 turn. Unit can move to a space adjacent to any ally within 2 spaces. So it gives you warp, which is fantastic, and that whole guidance 4 and the fact that it's not as good because it's just everywhere. So this is yet another example of that. I'm going to skip down and we're going to talk about Salvage though right here. So Salvage enables CANTO 2. That's a fixed CANTO that is really powerful. So when CANTO control is applied to unit, if unit's range equals 1, unit can move 2 spaces with CANTO instead of 1 space. And if unit's range equals 2, unit can move 1 space with CANTO instead of 0 spaces. This is incredibly good for anyone who has been blocked by CANTO control, particularly in Aether raids. That is something that can be very, very handy. So we've got Salvage down. Next, we have if unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants bonus to unit's attack speed equals 20% of unit speed at start of combat +6. We've seen this a lot, and that clause in itself just doesn't push attack enough. Just flat out does not do it. It does help with speed, but there's enough things, enough daunts and everything else that 20% is not going to get you there. But this deals damage equals 15% of foe's attack is very nice. And again, true damage is fantastic and is what you need on a nuke, period. True damage is just the thing right now. Reflective damage is another one of those that isn't on this unit though. Then we have full no follow-up, which is great on this unit, and neutralizes effects that inflict. So we got half tempo there as well. All of this is a fantastic package. This is a supportive nuke very clearly, and she is going to be able to hit. Let's look at the rest of the kit to talk about whether it's hard enough. Ice Lock is great. Pay attention to this skill is treated as a rally assist. We have Holy Pressure, which this is obviously to help her do damage. But again, so this boosts damage. It boosts damage. And the damage boosts right now are having a very, very hard time punching through the bulkiest of tanks. You can get it if you have reflective damage because so much damage is coming at you, and there's so many reductions going on that this can be good. Holy Pressure in and of itself, it's got gravity and it is going to help you with damage a bit. But again, we're always questioning killing power with these supportive nukes. We then have Sway Attack Speed, which has stats that conditionally give you +12 to attack and speed, and Wrathful Staff. So that's big. You have Dazzling up in the weapon and Wrathful in this A skill, and then that frees you up to have Called to Serve. Now, if rally or movement assist skill is used by unit, so see Ice Lock, grants Dull All to unit, target ally, and allies within 2 spaces of target ally after movement for 1 turn. So, fantastic. Allies on the map with Dull All get +5 damage. And that doesn't include AoEs, but for this unit, obviously that doesn't matter. So, this is good. We then have an additional inflicts speed res -4 on foe, and unit deals +X damage during combat. X equals number of allies on the map with Dull All status active, excluding unit ×5, max of 15. Okay, there we're starting to stack things up. This can give you an additional 20 true damage along with the 15% of the foe's attack. We're getting somewhere there. We then have Quiet Strength. For allies on the map with the salvage effect active and allies within 2 spaces of unit, grants an Omni +5, deals another 7 damage. Then you have a flat DR of 7, and that includes Braves, and grants special cooldown count -1 to ally before ally's first attack during combat. So we have that whole special jump thing. They're trying to get you to Holy Pressure. So along with slaying and then now this special jump, this is very helpful. And on your second hit, Holy Pressure is going to be able to proc because this unit has half tempo and you're not going to be able to guard this unit. So next up, we have this really annoying thing where it has everything we just talked about. But the difference is this unit also gets piercing, and piercing is very, very good, even if it is only 50%. So we've stacked up a lot of true damage. That is what a nuke needs. There are definitely some supportive capabilities, a lot of warping. I want to look at the video here because there's a lot to talk about, but you really need to see the whole picture before we dig into it. This is not an obvious unit like a lot of that we see. So I mean, we see her attacking Corrin, which is just mean. Now we have Corrin going off, having Canto 2. Sorry, we have Sakura attacking first with Sather. 80 times 2, and Sather has a lot of res. Now, as you guys have pointed out, and as is very, very true, these are not optimal kits, but they do give you an idea of how the unit is used and how they are supposed to be used. Doing that much damage on that high of a res unit is still very good. Corrin does shenanigans and warps all the way back to Sakura. So let's watch that one more time, because this is the big thing. You notice he started over here on that dot, all the way back, and that is a lot of power right there. That's a lot of movement and can be very handy in certain situations. So we've now got this picture up, and I want you to really visualize what this unit is meant to be. And I'm going to talk in terms of Aether Raids here, but understand this kind of tactic is going to be good for Aether Raids, somewhat in Summoner Duels, and definitely Arena. What we're seeing here is you have applied Divine Vein Ice, a block. Your team then travels through that and can smack someone and can somewhat defeat Canto control and warp all the way back and get away from folks. This is really leaning into the hit and run strategy. This is a strategy that IS is really pushing right now. If you think about the heart of the Emblem Lin Ballista strategy, that's really what that is. It's a hybrid version of hit and run where you don't actually have to do the run part. This is the same way. This is the way this unit is going to want to be used. Let's move on. I want to talk more when we get to the tier list. There's a couple other things though. It's going to show her proccing her special. Okay. So we're only doing 18 times 2 now. You see, this is another very high res unit, and I am, in case you haven't gotten it, I'm very worried about her damage output, and this is kind of showing me what I want to see. But the real thing we want to see is this just, okay, we hit once, then we have this just absolute S tier special animation where she does a twirl in the air, lands back on her horse, and smacks Micaiah. That's really what we're here for, right? Okay, so backs away with Canto, only gets Canto 1 because they had Canto control, because Medius was there. Let's get to the tier list though. That is something coming up, Earth rankings. This unit is amazing in Arena, flat out. Now, she is not going to be taking on Neithogr, and she's not going to be taking on Rhea. We'll have to see if she can even do chip damage to those units. It is nice that they can't hit back. Keep in mind that right now we don't have a lot of null counter disrupt. because we can't. Null Counter Disrupt is on units generally that are jack of all trades because it's an extra thing that you have to get on there. We are having to double down on bulk so hard that we don't have room to put that on. I even have a Tamara with that on. I've been looking at it and I've been wondering if I can possibly take that off. Even with Larother, for the most part, most folks have just abandoned enemy phase altogether in light season and have gone straight up, well, hit and run. I mean, it's Rune and the extra unit and the safety fence have made that so much more accessible. And this unit can help you there as well. But in Arena, back to that because it's really what we're talking about here. Healers in Arena have always been incredible, and they have nerfed them because they don't want them in there for whatever reason. They have always been very scared of these units ever since the Razzle Dazzle meta of years past. I don't even remember what year that was. They have been deathly afraid of these units. This unit is, I mean, you have flavors of that. This unit is not a super nuke, but this unit is an amazing support in that mode. If you combine her with some unit that has warp suppression, I want you to think about all the things that stops from happening. I mean, you can literally block folks up with the ice and they will have a terrible time getting to you, and warping just, dies. Warp suppression right now in Arena is very expensive though, so I keep that in mind, but that is definitely a solution that they're selling. I would love to have this unit in Arena. I do not have those kind of orbs because I'm saving up for, of course, Sharena coming in August. But Sakura fans, this is her mode. She's amazing in Arena. Like being able to heal up your units and allowing them to warp, and the CANTO control thing isn't so much a deal in Arena, but the warping, being able to hit someone and then going that far back is absolutely a boon for you. That's huge. Think about this in combination with the Celica ring, where you have some unit that's a little further back, jumps all the way past Sakura, smacks someone, comes all the way safely back, and then Sakura moves away and the rest of the team is left running towards you. That's very, very powerful in a mode that has quite honestly been pretty dang frustrating. I am going to really enjoy using this unit on her bonus season, but like I said, I do not have the orbs to merge her up. I love healers though, and I love that they have one as a legendary unit. Let's move past Arena though and talk about support heroes in general. I know I have her above Robin, but that's a very close thing, and it depends on what you want. We're really talking about two modes here because as a support hero in Arena, she's amazing. We have Aether Raids, and I do not think this is going to be much of an Aether Raids defense unit. Aether Raids defense right now relies so much on being bulky because of safety fence 2. You have to hold out for so long that it's hard to get a unit like Sakura on your team. They have to be, you really have room for one amazing nuke, and that's about it. And this unit is just not that. That's not going to be a thing she does. On offense, especially in light season where you have that extra unit to play with, this unit can be a ton of fun, and not having to worry about CANTO control is incredible. That is a lot of fun. This unit can help you out a lot there if you want to use her. In Summoner Duels, Summoner Tools and Aether Raid's defense, as far as what they value in units, I find a lot of parallels. It's not perfect, but the supportive nukes right now that are taking over Summoner Duels, she just doesn't hit hard enough. You have to do either everything really well, and for an example of that, look at Lucina, or you have to be super unique like Larother. Now, keep an eye out. You may want to look, and if there is, there might be some really big brain strategies, so look out for that. But Overall, I have her in tier 1. I think this is a very fun unit. I think she's going to be very usable, but she's not shattering the meta with the way she is now. But speaking of summoner duels, I'm going to level with you. It is not my favorite mode, but there are a lot of folks that do videos on it that are a ton of fun to watch. I want to leave a link to Patrick here. He's been a member of the Discord for a long time and is a fantastic person. Go watch his videos. They're very well produced. They're fast paced. It is fun to see the way that these folks put teams together and go up against other players in real time. That is fun to watch, even if you don't like playing summoner duels, which I am one of you. It is not my favorite mode, but that doesn't mean it's not fun to watch. Go check him out. Members, you are amazing. Thank you for all that you do. Take care and schedule an appointment with your FEHologist real soon.